It's getting closer to the holiday season, one of the biggest holidays of the year with Christmas, and I think it's about time to make this video just as just some more talks for the game discussion. I'm not sure what's going to happen to the game. I'm not sure what's going to come out first to the game, or what's, if anything, outside of the crossplay. And I'm just very curious to find out. And I'm sure everybody else is very curious to find out. I don't want to make assumptions. I want to wait for them to say something first. But I'm going to just say this, just start talking about the game. I mean, a couple days ago, Garfield recently came out from last year's December. He was the new character. He was the first ever character that came out. And I shut the volume down so you guys can hear me a little bit so the music's not too loud. Let's just go on down here to this tab right here. And we're just going to kick it way back. See, he was the December update, and since we're in here, just make him the subject just for a little bit of discussion. Garfield joined the fight as the first new character, and he was the first ever free DLC character to be added into the game from the roster. And I don't know the full story. Garfield was probably apparently supposed to be in the game before the game came out and was publicly released to retail stores and available digitally. And for me, I got the physical copy. I'm just going to start talking about it and just telling the story. I got this game, 7 to 8 days late because physical copies in my area, in my state, were delayed. GameStop didn't even have the game. But when you go onto the PlayStation Store, when I went on the PlayStation Store, I saw it was there. But I like to get the physical copies for most of these games. Some of them I have digitally, but I still collect and keep the physical copies. I just even stopped trading in some of these games because you don't get as much depending on what you trade in, because you end up having to trade in a lot more than to actually get a game. But you turn around and try to trade that particular game in, or that particular title in, you don't even get the same amount that they charge you when you want to buy it fresh off the store or fresh off the shelf, or a used or pre-owned copy. But I got the physical copy of this game, long story short, and I waited for it to become available because I wanted to really get into the game and have the disc copy to play on PlayStation 5. And just with this character, since we're in December, I thought maybe we'll probably get some character news at some point. And I'm thinking maybe we'll hear something this week, maybe in between this week or maybe the next week, because Christmas is the next Sunday. It's not this Sunday, it's the next Sunday after. So I think we're probably, just a little bit of a prediction, we're probably bound to get some kind of update with new content, or maybe some character news, or maybe, I would like to say, the future of Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. We're probably going to end up finding that out all into one post. Crossplay might drop, and then they might follow up with a post of what their plans are into the future. I think it's a good time. This is the week to do it. You don't want to wait until after the holidays. I definitely feel like we'll probably get something maybe this week or maybe the next week, way before Christmas comes around, before Christmas time. I'm not sure what it's going to be, and I'm just going to talk about some other things because Rocco's was our recent character. Let's open up the character roster. Let's go to arcade. So Rocco was our recent character, and just for the game itself, and I really have fun playing this game. And even when nothing's going on with the game, I'm still playing and streaming the game and coming out with different ideas, characters that can be in the game, character ideas and more, and researching the character and just having you guys pick the characters that y'all want to see, and then I put a movesets together to be able to share how I think that character, he or she, could play and be added into the game. And it's just been fun. So that's just been additional things I've been doing with the game to expand, not just waiting for a new update to come out. I came up with my own original series and creative ideas with these different characters that can get into the game. And with the characters that you see in this current roster, you can still see all the potential there, and missing characters, missing shows that are not represented yet, or have yet to be represented. And then I would say characters, shows like Rugrats, for example, and then Real Monster songs, just for some examples. Hey Arnold, Danny Phantom. You have all these different characters and all this potential that you can dig in and go back into those worlds from Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom has a lot of different iconic villains that I think people would like to see, and just other characters and just being original. You can go back, go to your roots. With SpongeBob characters, you only got SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy. I was gonna say Squidward. Squidward can get into amongst those characters to add on to the roster. Mr. Krabs, Plankton, and I paired him up with Karen. It goes on and on because I think he'll be a good character, and he's just such an iconic villain from the NCU. He's funny, just watching the shows, trying to steal that secret formula. He's such a good character. Why not add him into the game? You got all these characters in different shows represented. You can still get more from those same shows. A Fire Nation rep, it doesn't matter who it is. You can expand. Some people want to see more of the Louds in the game. You got all these TMNT characters. You still don't have Raphael and Donatello. You can pop them in at some point. And just my little individual idea, just talking about this game. Even if Raphael and Donatello are not playable in the current for the main roster, you can make them exclusive characters to a separate mode, like a boss mode, where you can pair up and go co-op and be able to pair up with a friend or just do 4-player co-op and play through the arcade and battle these different bosses and different characters and make them exclusive appearances and exclusive characters to that particular mode. See how you expand? That's how I really expanded my ideas this year with the story mode, boss battles, and just how they can really implement some of these characters that are missing in the game. You can still be able to bring more to the table and have continuous content even with those different characters. You can bring them and implement them in their own modes to have them as special appearances. And then those iconic villains can get up in the game and you can go against those said characters with Crane, Bebop and Rocksteady, and many other characters. They have so many different villains. Plasmius, who deserves to be in the game, and Arnold. They can get into the game and they have so many characters already. With all these current shows represented, you can still make this roster big, just bigger and bigger. It can continue to grow throughout 2023. But just like I finished saying, I don't know what's going to happen. I wish I knew, but we're all waiting for it to find out. I'm curious. But I'm going to just say this now, regardless of what they say, I'm still going to be playing this game. Because it's just so much fun. I'm just laughing every time. Just playing off screen and just offline. It doesn't really have to be online. I can still have fun just playing around, just doing handicap matches and teams. And then you can just do the CPU challenges to see who wins. Had a Louds, Lincoln and Lucy Loud take on Leonardo and Michelangelo, maybe SpongeBob and Sandy. And you can just make up your own scenarios. The teenage robot teaming up with Danny Phantom, that's a cool little dream team. Danny and Jenny taking on Ren and Stimpy and Powder Toast Man for PTM, or just having the avatars, the 2 avatars. That's a real showdown. Take on both avatars, Aang and Korra against Danny and Jenny. Just things like that. That's how I play around when I'm playing the game on stream and just having fun. Make up those different scenarios and create your own fun. That's what I like creating with this game. Just these different ideas. But they have a lot of modes. Let's get up out of here. They have a lot of different modes that they can add on. The extras playlist can get expanded, or you can just have. You see this menu? You got those little slots just below the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl logo at the top left corner. You can still be able to bring those different little tabs and different little bonuses. See how small the news tab is? You can slip in different modes. You can be able to expand extras, boss battles, or showdowns, something like that. And then if you don't want to make it and expand on the screen, you could just put it in the extras playlist or in the extras tab, because you only got the gallery, the moves, the jukebox, and the replays. I don't really click on this. I don't really need to go to the jukebox because I can just look up the playlist on YouTube for soundtracks. They got some good songs. soundtrack and the music's great, but you got all this stuff that you can look. You got 4 slots right on the screen. You can put more stuff into the game to really bring out more modes. And that's what I'm hoping what the future entails. More content outside of just the crossplay. It's definitely needed and important to bring players together so the player doesn't have to keep on buying the same game multiple times. That's a waste of money, in my honest opinion, and I'm going there. Why would you buy the game multiple times on the platform? You're just going to be spending extra money having to buy the DLCs all over again. So say if you're a Jenny main, Hugh Neutron, you like Rocco the most, and you favorite one of those said characters, you're going to have to buy the pack again just to play that platform, to play with those particular friends. But with crossplay, you can save your money and you can play with those friends and get together and make connections and play together regardless of what platform that you choose and that you favor. That's your cup of tea or your forte. You stay on that platform, and with crossplay, it's going to make a better experience for the online, and it's also going to bring more players together. It's better that way. So I'm just hoping that they really have more to share with us in regards to content, and not just stopping, and don't settle for just the crossplay. You got all these great characters right now. Who's to say who they can add into the future for next year, for 2023? This game can get even more bigger. The player base can grow, and more people that probably stopped playing the game, I'm gonna say it, some people who quit playing the game probably potentially got bored of the game and moved on to other games or other platform fighters, which I don't blame them for, that offer more. They can bring more to the table for this game to bring the players back, to keep them coming back and playing the game more consistently. And then you already have that crossplay just there, and they can just keep on playing, and they can play and meet other different players and connect with them and have fun. So that's what I think can really just bring the game out. Got a battle mode, and then the sports mode. You got this is a unique mode, but it needs some tweaks, it needs some fixes. Just like some of these characters in the AI acting up, it's funny, but just like it needs more modes. Bring some more modes and bring them out and include them in the battle mode. That could be something that can really be something to add on for a separate update, for a future update. New modes, and then they can expand. And it doesn't even really have to. Your brawler. It doesn't even have to be 4 players. They can expand it to maybe 6, 7 players, 8 players potentially at some point. That's what you have. You got all those future updates. Not just settling for just a new character update. You got all these different updates and new modes that you can include for separate updates, for more content, to bring more life to the game. The player base grows. You got more characters that people want to see. And then different characters and surprise characters with the universe packs. And then you have more playable modes, and then that crossplay there, it's going to make the game better. And more people are going to start playing. But without that lack of content, people are going to stop playing. And they already have. So they can definitely just bring more content, updates, and just more playable modes for people to keep on playing consistently. And not just playing it just because a new character is out. They could just be playing it more often because it has more in the game outside of just the crossplay. From modes and new characters, and they can just go from there. That's how the game can grow. But that's what I just wanted to talk about for a little bit. I really hope that there's more. But just like I said, even if it's not, I'm still gonna be playing the game, playing around on stream, and just having fun. It's a fun game to play. There's plenty of other games to play as well, but I really genuinely enjoy playing this game and coming out with these different character ideas and more. They have a great roster. The roster doesn't have to stop here. You don't stop here and settle for Rocco. You got all these great characters from these shows. And just one more example, you only got 1 Wild Thornberrys rep, you got 1 Reptar rep, and 1 character from Cat Dog. And just I already talked about Danny Phantom and Ablina and Helga. I was gonna say Arnold. You could just get Arnold, Helga, and then get like Zuko. Zuko is one of the characters people want to see. Squidward. You got some. You can just expand from what you have from the characters that you have, and then you can try to dive into other worlds from Fairly Odd Parents, from Rocket Power, Chalk Zone, etc., etc. And then as the future goes on, you can get those other characters that a little bit are a little bit more of a stretch and try to pitch your hand and try to get those different ones. Those different characters that are a little bit tougher, like Timmy Turner, for example. You see what I'm saying? So they can definitely just be able to do that. You ain't gotta get them now. You can get them at a later date, but you'll still be able to get the characters that you have in the roster, and don't settle with just rock them. But that's all I want to say. They got a lot of different things that they can bring. The potential is still there. This title screen needs to be updated too. Last thing, with Hugh Neutron, Rocco, and stuff like that, and Jenny. How come they're not on the screen? They can definitely update that too, so they can slide that in as a little bit of update. The title screen could be a little bit different and update it with all those different new characters.